2021 sprung back to speed after a logistically challenging 2020 with plenty of pace and prizes. The Sand of Saudi Arabia hosted the 43rd Dakar Rally in January, and Sam Sunderland was able to take his KTM 450 Rally to the third step of the overall podium. Meanwhile, the 2021 AMA Supercross Championship had begun in the United States, and Webb regained the championship he won in 2019 with a strong and consistent battle against tough opposition. Please subscribe our channel. Thank you for your support. Webb guided the KTM 450 SXF Factory Edition to the company's 5th title in 7 years. KTM North America's impressive racing program also welcomed a high-profile return to the AMA American Flat Track Series. Back in Europe, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing soon weaved their strong influence on the FIM MXGP Motocross World Championship. Jeffrey Herlings won a stunning contest that traversed 18 rounds and 36 motos to go down to the very last laps of the season. The Dutchman's second MXGP crown also represented KTM's third in the last half a decade with the KTM 450 SXF. Red Bull KTM were the only Grand Prix team to see all 6 of their riders, Herlings, Tony Cairoli and Jorge Prado in the MXGP class, and Tom Weil, Mattia Guadagnini and René Hofer with the KTM 250 SXF in MX2, stand on the top of a Grand Prix rostrum during the year. Prado and Weil dominated the competition in terms of hole shots, and KTM gave motocross icon Cairoli a deserving send-off as the 9-time world champion ended an 18-year career at Mantova, Italy in November. Cairoli, Guadagnini, Herlings and Hofer all excelled with podium presence at the 2021 Motocross of Nations in Italy as the home country triumphed, and Hofer owned the MX2 category. KTM were able to extend their presence through the EMX European Championship development period with their SX technology and laid a promising new base thanks to the European Junior E-Motocross Series, an educational scheme for youngsters taking place on sections of Grand Prix circuits and at MXGP fixtures with KTM SXE5. The inaugural edition was extremely popular and whet the appetite of families across Europe. KTM came back to force in the FIM Enduro World Championship in 2021, where Red Bull KTM's Josep Garcia grasped his second E2 championship and first title with the KTM 350 EXCF, and was runner-up in Enduro GP, as well as the outright winner at the prestigious International 6 Days Enduro. Teammate Manuel Lettenbichler claimed victory at the daunting Red Bull Romaniacs for the third year in a row aboard the KTM 300 EXC TPI, and only narrowly lost out on the FIM Hard Enduro crown at the last round, having finished on the podium at every race of the series. Also on the dirt, Matthias Wagner earned the distinction of FIM Cross Country Rally's world champion, and KTM continued to reign in the Works Series in the U.S. KTM's reach and influence off-road remains elite, and 2021 was another illustration of the power of the organization, the equipment and the athletes, but it was also a year in which the road racing arm of the department continued to blossom. 2021 was KTM's 5th year on the MotoGP grid and the 3rd with a full 4-rider lineup thanks to both the Red Bull KTM Factory Racing and the Tech 3 KTM Factory Racing teams. 2 wins, 5 podiums and a joint top speed record were bagged once the season began in Qatar and ended in Valencia. Brad Binder increased his tally of triumphs to 2 in 2 terms with his brave decision to remain on dry, slick tires for the final laps of a wet Motorrad Grand Prix van Oostenrijk at the Red Bull Ring. The South African classified 6th in the final championship standings with the RC16 after being 11th during 2020 in his rookie outing. He also blasted to 362.4 km/h at Mugello, Italy to equal the fastest speed recorded in the history of the sport. Miguel Oliveira now has 3 Grand Prix wins with KTM after running to the checkered flag in Catalunya during the summer. The thrilling feat came in a spell of 3 podium appearances for the talented Portuguese. The Red Bull KTM AO team were rampant in both Moto3 and Moto2 as the KTM GP Academy witnessed Grand Prix spoils for 4 different riders and the 5th Moto3 World Championship since 2012, with star rookie Pedro Acosta blitzing the field. Remy Gardner became the first Australian Moto2 World Champion after a close duel with teammate Raul Fernandez, as both AO racers finished first, second 7 times from 18 rounds and set new milestones in the division through 13 wins. The Red Bull KTM Tech 3 team also flourished in Moto3 with both Denis Onque and Ayumu Sasaki collecting trophies on the KTM RC4. The KTM RC 250R was the platform for the latest edition of the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup, that won by Spaniard David Alonso. The Northern Talent Cup, ruled by Jakub Gurecki, and the Austrian Junior Cup, Leo Rammerstorfer was the number 1, Both used RC4R motorcycle, and this meant at select rounds of 2021 MotoGP there were more than 70 KTM race bikes circulating Grand Prix tracks on a single weekend. While 2021 has been a resounding success on many levels, KTM have also had to endure some difficult and emotional moments, and thoughts of the late Jason Dupasquier and Renee Hofer and their respective families will remain at the forefront long after another racing year begins. Pit Bayer, KTM Motorsports director, said, "To take this company to the track around the world means a big movement of so many pieces, and the big key to the success comes from the people involved. From the brilliant riders, at the beginning, middle and end of their careers, to the guys at the factory, those in the pit lanes and the paddocks and the trucks, the whole operation needs a special focus to make it all work. When we can see the results of our job, then this makes me very proud. We've celebrated this season, but we've also had cause for tears, and, at times, it has been very emotional. I just want to take this moment to thank everyone who has played their part, and, as ever, we will look forward and give our best to be right at the front again when another racing year starts." Thank you for watching us. Please subscribe our OKR Moto YouTube channel. OKR Moto is an KTM authorized dealer and service since year 2003, based in Slovakia. For more KTM related news with international subtitles, please check our playlist. Link is available in the description of this video. Thank you for your support and subscription.